Shalom, love in Christ. Lock you, you know what I'm saying, for being late. I'm Officer of 50 Oscar Walk. You know what I'm saying, holding it down for Officer Daniela until he get here. Been seeing a lot going on in the news lately, or videos popping up. You know what I'm saying? A young brother got killed in Minnesota, I believe. You know, another young kid getting harassed in I'm not gonna say it's a oppressive neighborhood, but it's like where they would normally be at. But in the video, when you look at the brother and him and the Edomite, you know what I'm saying, they having their situation, more black people start walking down the street. So it's like he's trying to tell the brother, like, this is not your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying, and all that. But at the same time, it's other black people. And he told him too, he said, you're in the wrong neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Just like back in the day. I think that showed them. I ain't really got into it yet, but from what I've been, you know what I'm saying, hearing people that's watching it, they've been saying like it's around that time when all right, most not crazy, it's not working. But around that time when it was like they ain't really want us in their neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? You know, we had sundown towns and different things, and we always speak about it here. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you that the truth about what we've been telling y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? And what we've been telling our people is that our oppressor is never going to love us, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. We don't live in a post-racist society. The 70 million people that voted for Trump, and people did not just go away after they so-called lost the election. You understand what I'm saying? You've seen a lot of them storming the damn Capitol. You know what I'm saying? They still work with you. They still in your neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? They still police officers. They still in your schools. All of that is all the same. The racism has not went away. We do not live in a post-racist society, man. You understand what I'm saying? God loving everybody after the conditions and the things that we went to is a ridiculous thing to tell a black person. You understand what I'm saying? A black, Hispanic, or Native American person. Because the person that's telling us this is the person that also hang us from trees, man. That try to oppress us in our neighborhood, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the Bible says something that Christians never deal with. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10 says, never trust thy enemy. You understand what I'm saying? We have enemies on this earth, man. You understand when Christ was on the earth, he had enemies. When Moses was on the earth, you know what I'm saying? He had enemies, man. He was in opposition to the Egyptians. Why? Because they put hard bondage on his people, man. You understand? That's why the Bible also calls America Egypt. We always try to make that link so our people can understand that this place is the same as Egypt. And just like the Jews were in captivity then, we're in captivity here now. You understand what I'm saying? And the scriptures say that. The scriptures say the same exact thing that I'm telling you right now. I'm going to pull that so you can get the precepts. Lock it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, man. We don't live in a post-racist society. These people still hate us. Moneybag Joe, you know what I'm saying? And I see people calling him. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna change anything, man. So many of us got murdered under the Obama administration, man. You know what I'm saying? By the police. We was getting oppressed then, all of that. Like, it's not gonna stop. It's going to be more of the same. Why? Because these people hate us, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because these people are our enemies, and the Bible says the same thing. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. You understand? So this place is parallel with Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same way the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that's who was in Egypt. You understand? The same way we was in Egypt working bondage, getting worked. You understand what I'm saying? This is the same, this is places in the same spirit as old Egypt, man, as ancient Egypt. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. How do we get over here, man? You know what I'm saying? Like your pastor not gonna bring this out. He's not gonna tell you about the curses in Deuteronomy 28. He too busy buying $5,000 suits and jet suits, or you buying the $5,000 suits. Our people buying the $5,000 suits and private jets and all that, so he can go back and forth around the country, making more money off of suckering us and not warning us, man. You understand what I'm saying? As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have terrible leaders, man, because they're not gonna tell you the truth, especially in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you can tell that these people hate us without even looking at the Bible. All you got to do is walk outside your house like that young brother did. You understand? He in his own neighborhood getting harassed by a giant devil. I seen somebody say he like 16 or something. He looked like a kid. You know what I'm saying? And he walking around, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever, and the devil telling him, you in the wrong neighborhood. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Threatening the brother. Push the brothers. You understand what I'm saying? That's why in here we train each other. We train men and women in here to be wise about who we dealing with, man. Like the other scripture said I just read, never trust thy enemies, man. I wouldn't even want my younger brother dealing with that devil. Come get me, man. You understand what I'm saying? A devil all in your face, call me, man. Call one of the brothers, man. You see what I'm saying? Don't be in that devil face. Why? Because he's a murderer. You understand? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. And back in ancient times, if you look at a map, Israel and Egypt are right next to each other. You could just walk from Israel into Egypt. They walked 70 souls into Egypt, and they walked out of Egypt. They didn't need a boat to get to Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? It says bring you into Egypt again with ships is spiritual. We came over here on cargo slave ships. That's just the truth. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, talking about our homeland, man. You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't really know where we come from. You know what I'm saying? We just say Africa. Africa is a blanket term. If you ever talk to somebody that's actually from Africa, I want you to do two things. Ask them, are we the same people? And then ask them about where they come from over there. And then ask them, is everybody in Africa the same people? You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to work my old slavery or whatever, I used to always be, you know what I'm saying, taking Ubers everywhere, right? So I'm taking Uber, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, and I always used to get hand mics, you know what I'm saying, that'll take me home sometimes. And I ask them, I have a whole conversation with them. I'd be like, yo, what family group you from? You know what I'm saying? What language do your people speak? What's the parent language? I ask them, Shalom known Christ to everybody checking in. I see y'all on the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I ask them, like, what's your parent language? What family group you from? I did that to an Ethiopian. He looking back, asking the rear view asked me, am I Ethiopian? I'm like, nah, I just did a little bit of research. I know that it's like 30 family groups over there. Which one you from? He told me. I'm like, what's y'all language? He said a language. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that. I said, what's the parent language? He looking up in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, they're losing his mind. Like, who the hell is this talking to me? Because our people normally don't know anything about Africa. We just say Africa, got Africa tattoos, start putting on dashikis, you know what I'm saying? But we don't actually know about the culture of Africa. You understand what I'm saying? And here, we know the truth of the Bible and history that Black Jews got ran into Africa, man. And then we got sold over here to the so-called white man. You understand what I'm saying? That's what really happened. So when it says you're gonna go into Egypt again with ships, that's what happened. We got ran into Africa by the Romans, by our oppressors. The Romans are Caucasian people, man. They sacked Jerusalem. You can go look this up. And the people who didn't get stuck in Jerusalem and died, they ran into Africa to hide among other Black people. You understand what I'm saying? So when it says you're gonna go into Egypt again with ships, that's what it's talking about. And it says, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. That's slave men and slave women, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened to our people. And our Hispanics and Native American brothers, they got put on ships and they got sent over back to Europe. You know what I'm saying? So they was on slave ships too. And they got sent to different parts of America because if you kidnap somebody on their own land, they gonna know how to get back where they came from. So if you try to put somebody in slavery and they run away, they gonna know where they're going. They're gonna look up at the sky and know, like, I know where I'm at. That's like if somebody tried to kidnap you in your neighborhood but let you outside. You're gonna look and be like, well, I know if I take the train from this street, I could take this all the way down here and get back to my damn house. But if somebody puts you, kidnap you, and take you to South America, and you get loose, you're gonna be sitting there looking like, what the heck? And then everybody gonna be looking at you like, this person don't even know where you're going. And that's just because it's popular. Imagine it's like a wilderness and they just send you somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? It said you're gonna be sold for bondmen and bondwomen, meaning slave men and slave women. And it says you're gonna be sold onto your enemies, man. You understand what I'm saying? While everybody was going out and voting Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, both groups of devils just voting, more than likely most of them hate you, man. You understand what I'm saying? There's a couple of them that try to act rational and try to act civilized, but they don't have nothing to do with life or death situation. Like the blood of the Christian church for trying to get us to love these people, and our civil rights leaders for trying to get us to love these people is blood on their hands, man. You understand what I'm saying? They hate you. You're joining us to somebody that hates you. You're putting the sheep with the wool. You're not protecting the people, man, by doing that. And here we teach how to protect Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You need to know who your enemy is according to the Bible. Your enemy is the people that you went to slavery to, man. That's what the Bible just said. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's another verse in this chapter I want to get real quick. It's another verse further going in more to our captivity. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another thing too, man. You got to understand the Lord's involvement in sending this nation against us, man, these other nations against us. This was a punishment because we didn't keep his laws. If you go read Deuteronomy 28:15, it says, you don't keep the laws, all these curses are going to fall upon you, man. You understand what I'm saying? So the Most High punished us by putting us here. So telling our people they don't have to keep the law is very detrimental. When the Lord told us to separate from the other nations and keep his laws, otherwise we're going to get cursed. You're just going to further it and make it worse. You understand what I'm saying? We got fake Israelite groups talking about we don't got to keep the law and telling people in little side conversations, and of course they end up telling the ISUPK that such and such another Israelite group said we don't got to follow the law. A lot of times these brothers be lying to women. You understand what I'm saying? Telling you what you want to hear so you can be somebody's damn fool. Y'all should learn from Derrick Jackson and realize that that's a lot of men out here telling y'all what y'all want to hear so they can get money off of y'all or get in your damn pants. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reality of the situation. Like, that's the truth, man. And the Christian church, they're not telling you the truth. They're not telling you that the Most High sent these people against us for what? For not keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. They tell us the law is done away with. We're going to continue to be cursed if the law is done away with, man. If they lie and tell us the law is done away with. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. There they word go again. You understand? The Bible says, read precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So these things correlate with each other. Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. And who do we have to go to for food, man? Our oppressor, man. We got to go to his grocery stores or some other race's grocery store. We got, even in our own neighborhoods, we don't own the supermarkets. We don't own a lot of the stores in the neighborhood. We got to go to a so-called Chinese man, or, you know what I'm saying, some Koreans or the Arabs, you know what I'm saying, to get some damn chicken or something, or a damn Hamite or something, or oppressor. We got to go to the grocery store. We had to serve them in hunger. You understand? We had to serve them in slavery in hunger. It says in thirst. That's where we get our water from. You know what I'm saying? I think in some places you're not even allowed to collect rainwater. You know what I'm saying? In nakedness, where we get our clothes from, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's some people that, you know what I'm saying, of our people that might create clothes, but by and large, like, we get our clothes from our oppressor. We go have to shop and get our clothes from it. And in slavery, we definitely had to get clothes from them because we couldn't do nothing by our damn self. And it says, in one of all things, man. Think about how much of your life is geared into you getting it from our oppressor, man. Getting it from so-called white people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is what the Bible says. They call these people your enemies that we are serving. You think that dang white Jesus didn't put them above you and civilize you because of what they taught you, but these people are your enemies according to the Bible, man. You understand what I'm saying? It says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. What's a yoke of iron? That's a collar. Put a collar around your neck. And it says, until he have destroyed thee. You know what I'm saying? So what's that? You can go look up, type in yoke of iron, and you're going to see black people, our people, with collars around their damn neck. And if I could, you know what I'm saying, real quick, I was just thinking about it, you know what I'm saying? And, like, I was thinking, like, how when you get a puppy, right? You first put a collar and a leash on them, they always try to bite it off. You know what I'm saying? You try to take them for a walk, they snatching on the leash, they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But then eventually, you know what I'm saying, you put it on them enough, like, you know, when I looked it up, when I first got my dog some years back, I was just wondering like how to, you know, make him get used to it. At least he was like, just put him on him and let him run around with it. Like, let him get used to it. You know what I'm saying? You take the dang dog for a walk, you got the puppy outside, you trying to walk him, the dog pulling on, trying to play tug of war with you, pulling on the damn leash, man. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, what happened? You tell your dog, hey, you want to go on a walk, he go get the leash, or she go get the leash, and then bring it to you. She see it and her tail start wagging. It's like for us, I feel like we had them collars on our necks for so long, had that yoke on our necks for so long, that now we automatically lay ourselves down now in front of our enemies, man, in front of our oppressors. We automatically just freeze up and let go, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even when we're not in the wrong. That's why George Zimmerman thought he could just follow Trayvon Martin and tell him to stop. You understand what I'm saying? And do whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why that devil in that neighborhood harassing that boy, you know what I'm saying, in South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? That's why he thinks he could do that, because that's how they're used to dealing with us. You understand what I'm saying? They look at us like some type of degenerate, and then we start to take that in our own mind and start to take that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may have took the physical yoke off of our neck, but we still want to go to him and say he's right about a lot of stuff. We want to, you know what I'm saying, back down to him and not allow, you know what I'm saying, for certain things to go as far as we want to take it by ourselves, basically. You know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Like, if you watch our interview with the Proud Boys and the brother, you know what I'm saying, he said he was a Manassite, I think, or so-called Cuban, or whatever he was. I think he was, you know what I'm saying, and when we ended up debating again later, you know what I'm saying, and he told Commander General Yohannes and the brothers, like, black people can't govern their own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tell our people to separate from our oppressor, and it don't even register. It don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, these people are our enemies, man. Like the Bible said, these people are our enemies. It said you're gonna go into slavery under your enemies. So you're gonna put a yoke of iron around your neck. You know what I'm saying? Under your enemies, and then it says this Ecclesiasticus verses Salakia, chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And what is that saying? That's saying, like, just like iron is gonna rust eventually, he's going to show his wickedness again, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like a sigh of relief after the election. I remember I seen all kind of, you know what I'm saying, folly going on behind people for Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Girls posting their behind, talking about post something for Joe Biden and all this other nonsense. Want people to go vote for him, but it's like, Donald Trump is terrible, but Joe Biden hates you too, man. You understand what I'm saying? This place is not going, the hatred for you in this place is not going to go away because somebody new got elected in office, man. This is never going to go away. So what should we do as a people? We should be wise and understand that, man. That's one of the first things we should know, is that these people hate us. Salakia. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, you know what I'm saying? Joe Biden humbled himself, man. You know what I'm saying? He came, or no, in a way he didn't, because he told black people, you're not black if you don't vote for me, which I don't even understand. When his name has been on every major and minor crime bill since the 70s, man. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, man, y'all got to understand about America and trying to love this place is that in 1968, the president declared black people the enemy of the United States. A lot of our people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these drugs in your neighborhood and brothers being drug dealers, you know what I'm saying, and breaking our family apart, that was all part of the plan, man, on how to deal with us. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna get the quote exactly so I can read it. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, 1 second. Let me get the quote, Salakia. But yeah, man, like I was saying, like, so like in 1 second, let me get the door. Brotherhood shit. Right. So lock it. I had to get the door real quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was saying, man, this place it hates you, man. And the reason why I'm bringing the Richard Nixon situation up is so you can understand a parallel to Joe Biden and how he ran his campaign, because our oppressors know that they got us in the chokehold in the political game. They know they already got it, you know what I'm saying, how they want it to where it's like, we're not gonna do too much politically to really affect, especially back then, this is in the 60s, especially back then, we're not gonna do too much politically, you know what I'm saying, to get it to where it's like, we can stop them from doing anything. So when they began to fill our neighborhoods with drugs, when they began to, you know what I'm saying, make private prisons for profit and do all these other things to us, it was like, at the time, there was nothing we were gonna be able to do about it. You know what I'm saying? So this is a quote. It says, one of Richard Nixon's top advisors and a key figure in the Watergate scandal said the war on drugs was created as a political tool to fight blacks and the hippies. You understand what I'm saying? So the president said that we were the enemy of this place, man. He used the war on drugs as a tool to criminalize us. It says the Nixon campaign in 1968, the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. And then this is part of the quote when he was talking about it. He said, you understand what I'm saying? We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war on drugs or black, which being black is damn near illegal. It's life. You know what I'm saying? Your brother walking in the neighborhood, you get killed. You drive in your car, you get killed. You sleep in your car, you get killed. You sleep in your house, you get killed. I don't like, he's saying you can't make it illegal to be black, but I think they did a pretty good job. They got kind of close, or it is close enough to make it illegal to be black, because you get murdered by a devil and nobody does anything about it. Right. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, they barely gonna get any time, or they gonna get a slap on the wrist, they gonna get moved to a new precinct and everything will be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the brother that was in the military got sprayed, it's only reason why that cop got fired is because that brother was in the military. You understand what I'm saying? It says, we couldn't make it illegal to be against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, which happened to a lot of our leaders, which still happens to this day. They try to make us seem like we crazy for trying to come up against this place when they declared us the enemy. So what we supposed to do? Just take it? Right. Y'all declared us the enemy. We supposed to lay down and let y'all destroy us instead of saying, well, I'm your enemy, you my damn enemy, man. You right. Understand what I'm saying? That's why the Bible say never trust your enemies. That's why the Bible says you have enemies, man. And our Christian church and our black leaders are doing a disservice for not telling us that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans got enemies, man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? It says we could arrest their leaders, raid their homes. Breonna Taylor just got her home breaking into. Fred Hampton, the same way they killed Breonna Taylor is the same way they killed Fred Hampton, man. You understand what I'm saying? Went in the house and shot that brother in his sleep, man. Went in her house and shot that sister in her sleep, man. You understand what I'm saying? These people hate us, and we need to spread this word out that that's what it is, man. Why? Because we could save lives and put our communities back together by understanding who our enemy is, man. That's wisdom, understanding who your enemy is. That's why the Bible says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You understand what I'm saying? Who's oppressing us? You want the class? Yeah. So like if I could, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Dayala.
Water for water. Most High Christ. The water for Oshawott holding it down. You know, took over a little bit as Satan tried to keep me from coming in. Definitely, what the brother was bringing out is heavy, right? Hey, shalom, Lord Christ. Are y'all just getting back? Most High Christ. Do me a favor. Give me Ezekiel 8 and 17, right? Because the point that you was bringing out was so heavy, right? You know, our people got this thing where they want to say that so like anybody else out there with you? Anybody else out there with you? It's just
I'm bringing us some stuff that I don't need.
all right, bad. All right, cool.
You said what chapter if I could?
8 and 17.
Ezekiel?
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of our people got this thing where we like to put up an argument that about weed, just like the brother was bringing out, how they push these drugs in our neighborhood, right? And they use these drugs as a tool to destroy us and to keep us in the poverty that we in, right?
Right.
But our people, as of today, got this thing where because the weed come from the plant or whatever, they want to put up an argument as far as hey, shalom, Lord Christ. They want to put up an argument as you can smoke, but not understanding that the oppressors use these tools to destroy you. And when you come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you understand that if we would have kept these laws, right? If we would have followed the Most High, the war on drugs that they tried to use to destroy us wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked if we had just kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. When they would have pushed these drugs in our neighborhoods, we would have been like, you know what? We not falling for it, man. The Lord don't like that. The Lord do not like that. You know, we not falling for it. But they push the drugs in our neighborhood, and we, you know, and then they strip us from jobs. And then, you know, when we ain't got no jobs and we got to provide for our family, we having tons of kids. The only thing that's left for us to do is to sell drugs. That's the only thing that's left for us to do. But that's the result of Martin Luther King, what he came and did. That's the result of us, you know, coming together and trying to join with the oppressor neighborhood. That, you know, when they decide to take our jobs away, it should get to a point where we start to create our own jobs for one another.
Right.
So when they start to push these drugs in our neighborhood, it don't work. It don't work. Read Ezekiel 8 and 17 for me, Brother Kishore.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, and verse 17. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? It is a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here.
Now, it is a light thing unto the house of Judah. What does it mean? It's a light thing unto the house of Judah that they commit this abomination that they commit here.
If I could, like they do it like it's nothing, like it's every day, it's normal.
Just everyday normal, it's just regular. It's you know, it's nothing. You know, it's nothing. To the point when you speak out about it, they look at you like you crazy.
Right.
They look at you like you crazy. Why? Because this is nothing. You're making this a big deal. How are you making this such a big deal? Like, people really look at us like, I really can't believe y'all out here speaking against smoking weed.
Right.
Like, how can, and this how you know that they know it's wrong, because what they love to say, well, I got a medical marijuana card. I got a medical marijuana. Now they starting to legalize it to where as though you could go get these medical marijuana cards, right? And they like to use that as if that's a, you know, a get out of jail free card, to where as though, you know, just because you got a medical marijuana card, that means you could do it. I have some news for you, right? I know tons of people who got the medical marijuana card, and all they do is go to their doctor, like any drug addict do, right. Go to their doctor and complain about a fake illness or fake, you know, injury. Right. They go in there and they like, hey doc, you know, my eyes are hurting. I can't really see, and I get really bad headaches, and I got real bad anxiety. They start creating all these crazy things, and they say the right things because they know the doctor going to say, oh, I gotta prescribe you medical marijuana. Right. Why? Because the drug addict before them said, yo, go to your doctor and tell them, you know, your feet hurting, your feet keep swelling up, and your ankles and your knees is bad. So now you go in there and you start creating all these issues with you so the doctor can do it. I know around the time when it's flu season, I know tons of brother who catch a cold, and when they catch a cold, they go to see their doctor, and they act like it's the end of the world, to where as though, okay, maybe this is not just a cold. We got to prescribe them some cough syrup.
Right.
So they doing these things, and it's so easy to do it, to where as though when we speak out against it, they looking at us like, yo, what are y'all talking about? Like, this is nothing to them. So what?
If I could too, what's so heavy about what you bringing out is, it's like people recognize when you doing heroin that you a drug addict. People recognize when you doing, you know what I'm saying, cocaine or crack. They looking at you like, what the hell is you doing? But when you do marijuana, when you popping pills, you know what I'm saying, when you, whether they pain meds or I think they pop anxiety pills too, you know what I'm saying? When people do these things, they look at it like it's not as bad, especially with the marijuana. It's like, if you ever been around somebody that smoked marijuana a lot, they get high all day. When they not getting high, they have an attitude.
Yes,
you understand what I'm saying? They're unreasonable before they, like, if they don't smoke or if they can't smoke, they will begin to become very unreasonable and start to act a dang fool. And it's like, a lot of times they borrow money and they do everything a regular drug addict do. It's just not crack or heroin or nothing else. And then they'll sit there and you telling them like, you are addicted to it. Like, your body, you can get addicted to working out. You can get addicted. I've seen people ride a bike every day and ruin their hips or whatever because they rub their bones down because they got addicted to ride the damn bike. So it's like, if I be like, yo, you addicted to that, he like, man, this is not crack cocaine, this is not heroin. It's like, no, you are hurting yourself for riding that damn bike too much. Like, you are doing whatever you can to get weed. Like, how you gonna go to the, how ridiculous do you sound going and lying to somebody about being injured when ain't nothing wrong with you?
Right, and what you're saying is so heavy, right? This is how more ridiculous it sounds, right? They say I need to go get the medical marijuana card, so at least when the police pull me over, I won't go to jail for having this weed on me. Damn, and instead of saying, let me just leave it alone.
Right.
Let me just leave it alone so I won't keep going to jail, getting on probation. Let me just leave it alone. They say, you know what? I need to just like you said, just like a heroin addict, a crack addict, any other drug addict, what they do? Oh, I gotta find a way. 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 And then their way is, doctor, I can't sleep, and you know it's hard for me to go to sleep. And they saying everything they need to say to get that marijuana card, just to stop them from going to jail.
Right.
Yeah,
if I could too, another thing, you know what I'm saying, about it is like, they won't go to try to get a job if they drug test. Somebody be like, yeah, this job gonna give you $1,500 every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? They job, they make it $600. They be like, do they drug test? What are you talking about? You ask a brother, you be like, yo, why you know, you smoking a lot of weed? You know what I'm saying? You straight? Oh, I'm stressed out. What you stressed out about? I'm money. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got this job. They give you know what I'm saying? They paying like twice what you pay. You know what I'm saying? In 2 weeks, then you get in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You want to this job? Do they piss test? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it's like, damn, they piss test. I don't think I could take it.
Right.
Why? Because, you know, I need to be high in the interview.
Right.
I got to be high in the interview so I can say the right things and not mess up. Let's read on.
Come. It says, for they have filled the land with violence.
Now, this light thing, this is the light thing that Judah did. This is one of them. They filled the land with violence. They is very violent. They're going around committing all these violent acts towards one another as if it's something like it's natural. And if you know the tribe of Judah, that's Judah.
Right.
Everybody know it. You go in the club, step on somebody, fresh white pair of sneakers, you bump into somebody, make them spill a drink. You can't even be in the club and look at a brother like, damn, he looks familiar. Where do I know him from? He's going to take that as a challenge. Right. Now in the club, everything got to go wrong. Everything got to go wrong, and it's going to be issues. That's the first light thing that Judah do. Fill the land with violence. Read.
And have returned
to provoke me to anger.
And they return to provoke them to anger, to provoke the Most High to anger. How do they provoke the Most High to anger? By filling the land with violence and committing these sins that he's telling you not to do.
Right.
The fact that y'all filling the land with violence, the Most High is very angry at that. You shouldn't be doing it. Why? What's one of the reasons that brothers fill the land with violence? Because they ain't got no money to get weed.
Right.
So now they gotta go out and rob. Why? So they can get weed. You know, after they eat a meal, they need weed. They get off of their slave, they need weed. They just sitting around in the house, nothing to do. They just need weed. And when they run out of weed, it turns you violent. And they looking at it like, just like the brother brought out, oh, it's not an addiction. It's not an addiction, because they looking at like a heroin addict and a crack addict and a meth addict, and they seeing how it's deteriorating them and how they turning out, and they looking like, okay, I don't look like them, I act like them, but they don't know that it's different levels to it.
Right.
Like it's different levels, and to them, they don't see that the weed is actually deteriorating them and making them look different. You can look at a person and tell that they smoke weed.
Right.
It's plenty of brothers that, you know, when you up here teaching, plenty of new brothers that walk to the door, and a couple of y'all I didn't see, a couple of y'all that didn't walk through the door, and I said, they're like, God damn, he smoked all the weed in Philadelphia. You can tell.
Right.
Like new brothers walk in, you can tell who's a weed addict. You can tell by their lips, you can tell by their fingertips, you can tell by the around their eye, you can just tell by their skin. You can look and say, yo, this brother smoke a ton of weed. Right. This brother smoke a ton of weed. Just because you ain't growing sores all over your body and walking around scratching, you think that, nah, it ain't an addiction. When you can't just wake up and not smoke weed, you know, to benefit yourself. Like they even go as far as to, like, I know a brother, right, who used to go to his probation, his PO office, his probation officer office, and they used to do random checkups on him, where they would randomly call him to come into the office. He would have to pee in a cup so they could make sure he don't smoke marijuana. This brother used to walk around, and this is, when I say this, I am not exaggerating and I'm not lying. This brother used to walk around every day with someone else piss in a balloon, and he tied it around to his leg. When he leave the house, he get a balloon filled up with someone else's urine, tie it to his leg when he go out the house, just in case his probation officer call him and say, hey, you know, it's that day, stop what you're doing and come down to the office. He come down to the office, he go in the bathroom, untie the balloon, and he's pouring it in the cup. Like, how is that not an addiction? Where you walking around with someone else piss tied to you anytime you leave the house.
Right.
And that's not an addiction. Like, come on, man. Like, that is crazy. Right. Listen, I know tons of crazy stories. Brothers walking around with, you know, fake penises filled with piss and doing the most. Why? Because they know if they give their PO this dirty piss, they going back to jail. Instead of stopping, you rather walk around knowing one wrong move, now you got somebody urine all over your clothes because the balloon didn't bust. It's so many disgusting things that can go wrong with that. Right. Just the thought of it just tied to your leg. Like, it's so many disgusting things that could go wrong with that. You had your hand up?
If I could, too. You know what I'm saying? I know a couple of people that find out somebody got a bunch of drugs and decide to go rob them. And then, like, I know stories of people getting killed for doing that. And it's like, if he's selling that much weed, you don't think he got no type of gun? Now, I think a young brother, if I'm remembering correctly, he got hit with an AK because they went to rob a drug dealer. You see what I'm saying? Like, what in your mind is making you go, let me go rob a drug dealer?
They want that weed. They want to fill the land with violence for the drugs. Read on.
And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
They fill the land with violence, and lo, they put the branch to their nose. What is that branch they put to their nose? Somebody type it in online, right? If you in the chat, when the scriptures say they put the branch to their nose, somebody type it in. What do that mean? They put the branch to their nose. And remember, this is back in the time of Ezekiel. Like, this go back to Egypt. These drugs today is nothing new. These are things they always pushed on us.
Right.
They always pushed on us. Which is, they don't even, it's a reason they don't let you do drugs in Esau's military, in the so-called oppressive military.
That's right.
Because he know you can't win a war if everybody's high.
Right.
If everybody's high, how in the hell do you want to win a war? How can you fight when you high? It's just not going to happen. That's why most of our brothers and sisters is out here dying while they high.
Right.
Autopsy come back, yeah, he had narcotics in the system. He had this in the system. She had that in her system. Autopsy report come back. Almost every brother that then got murdered by a police officer, the number is two things that they do. If they don't bring up your background history, they're going to say he had drugs in the system. The George Floyd case, right? It's a sister that took the stand that everyone is mad at, right? Everyone is mad at her because of this. She said when George Floyd was sitting in the car before he got out, she noticed he was sitting in the car nodding off. So now everyone is saying she's trying to indicate that he was high.
Right.
And their defense is, you know, the police officer who put his knee on his neck didn't really kill him. He was high. He was already nodding off of drugs. Almost every brother that get killed, if they ain't bringing up your past criminal history, they're going to say you had drugs in the system.
Right.
They're going to say that. Now, did anybody type it in?
Okay. Somebody said putting the plant to their nose.
Putting what plant? Okay, it say putting the branch to their nose. What is the branch that they put into their nose? Wow, this is so spiritual, right? And remember, this is in the book of Ezekiel. What is that branch that they put to their nose?
If I could too, you understand what I'm saying? Like what make, you know what I'm saying, what Commander Junior Hunter, you know what I'm saying, and what we bring out so heavy is that when the same way you said you can't be in Esau military getting high, you can't fight for your people if you getting high all day, man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we understand that in here, that you're not gonna be functioning the way you need to be functioning. If instead of us going, hey, we need to do something for this food drop, we need to do something for Haiti. Imagine if the brothers in here was like, hey, you trying to match? And then we just met up and got high and talked about the Bible all day.
Man.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, what would we be doing? We'll be using the tithe money to get a pound of weed.
Listen, that happens, right? It happens where brothers meet up and match. And the proof is, look at those other so-called Israelite camps.
Right.
They out at Camp High. They believe in smoking weed. They out at Camp High and they doing that. Like, it's a reason we don't drink and go out to camp.
Right.
We drink in class and we sit and have fun and laugh and joke, and we have a drink after class, and we have drinks after camp. But there's a reason we don't drink before camp or during camp.
Right.
We out there in the middle of the battlefield. We are in the middle of a war. Drinking, you can't do that. You can't do that when you go into war, when you're in a battlefield. Everybody know that. Everybody know when it's time for combat, when it's time for war, when it's time to go at it, there's no drinking, right? So did anybody type in? What's the
brother Jehudi said? Marijuana.
Marijuana, that is the branch that they put into their nose, but what part of the marijuana? I'm gonna give somebody one more shot. The branch to their nose, like that's more clear than anything. What do they roll the weed up in? There's two things they can roll the weed up in: a leaf or the bark, a tree bark, a branch, depending on whichever you want to use.
Right.
So they either use the branch, the tree bark, or they use a leaf. Certain blunts or whatnot is made out of leaves. Certain other ones is made out of branches. Is made out of bark. Go ahead.
If I could, Sister Aaliyah Yahweh, she said wood.
Which would be the blunt part of it, whichever one they want to pick. Some of it is leaves. Some of it is the wood that come from a tree. So they put that branch to their nose. What does it mean when they put it to their nose? They smoking it. They getting high from it. They was filling the land with violence, and they was putting the branch to their nose. They was doing this way back in Ezekiel, man. Let me get another one.
If I could, you can read the next verse. Are you getting that?
Yeah, you can read the next verse.
Verse 18. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eye shall not spare, neither will it have pity.
The Most High gonna deal with fury. He's gonna be very angry when he see you smoking that weed. He's gonna be very angry when he see you smoking that weed, which is why you get arrested, which is why you can't function correctly, and then when certain things go down, you know, it's a wrap. You know, and when you finally sober up, you're gonna be sitting there like, damn, what the hell happened, man? You know, what happened? You was high out your mind, you know, and somebody got the best of you.
If I could, DMX, perfect example.
DMX is the perfect example, man. DMX is the perfect example. Go ahead.
If I could, he said the brother he looked up to laced his blunt with crack. And if I could too, real quick, I ain't trying to take the class over Salami.
You good.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I seen that, I was like the whole DMX situation is a respect of person thing with us, man. Because we respect him because of his talent and being a drug addict. And in regular drug addicts we see every day, we slap him in the head. You know what I'm saying? To give him $20 to jump off the roof, do stuff crazy and stuff like that.
Let him, for you to punch him in the face and all that, and kick him in the ass.
Right, and if I could, it's like, and then we glorify drug dealing. Like, if that brother who sold him that crack blunt would have made a rap where he put it in the bar, like, you know what I'm saying, gave my youngin the blunt, it was laced with crack, got him on the streets, this and that. Like, if he would have put that together in the bar, when we would have heard that bar, we would have thought that bar was hard. Like, damn, that's a hard bar. You did what? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that happened to a brother and it destroyed the rest of his life. Like, we even glorify selling brother, like they talk about like, oh, I had him so high, this and that, you know what I'm saying, in your raps or whatever. And it's like, man, we glorify that, like the Bible said in that verse. It said it's a light thing to us for us to do these type of things. But we rap about it, we hear it, and we think that's the best thing we ever heard about how you sold your brother drugs. But then we see with DMX what it did to the brother when, you know what I'm saying, that brother gave him that blunt laced with crack.
Right. Man, what you saying is heavy. DMX is the perfect example. Yeah, DMX is the perfect example. When it happened to him, everybody looked up to him. He was a figure to a lot of people, which is understandable. But that should have made you look at the drug addicts in your family that you've been, you know, shunning off all this time, who's crying for help. That should have made you say, listen, I'm gonna go get such and such help. I'm gonna at least see if he's gonna take the help. Let me try. So I see what happened. You know, DMX, who somebody I looked up to, died from an overdose. Let me go get the brother that's right next to me some help. He's right next to me. I just seen what happens right before my eyes. But the brother right next to me, let me go offer him some help and see here, take it. Let me go see if I can save his life so we won't have another DMX out here, man.
Right.
Another DMX. Real quick, was that it on that scripture?
It was a little bit more.
All right, read on.
And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them.
When y'all cry in his ears with a loud voice, he ain't gonna hear you. What's the crying in his ears? Crying in his ears when danger or destruction come. He not gonna hear you. When you cry in his ears, he is not going to hear you. when danger and destruction come. Give me Proverbs chapter 1, verse, let me see, 19. Okay. Start at 22. Okay. Well, hold on. 23. Start at 23. Mm-hmm.
You said 19, right?
Start at 23. 23. 1 and 23.
Proverbs 1.
You cry out for the Most High, he ain't gonna hear you. You filling the land with violence and you putting the branch to your nose. So guess what? Yes, the Most High will ignore your prayer because you smoked a little weed. Yes, he will do it. Because it's a light thing to you. It's a very light thing to you. And you hear people say stuff like that all the time. So you mean to tell me I ain't gonna make the kingdom over a shrimp? Like it's just a shrimp over some pork? It's a light thing to you, but it's not light to the Most High.
Right.
It's not light to the Most High. The Most High is a father. When he tell you come in the house at 10 o'clock, you think it's nothing to come in at 10:30. Yeah, you think it's no big deal. It's just 10:30. But it's a light thing to you, but it's not a light thing to your father. And you see the consequences. Yeah, putting the branch to your nose is a light thing to you, but guess what? It's not to the Most High. And because of that, when you cry, he's not gonna hear you. Go ahead.
Could. What's happy about that too is like, you know how people work to where you don't even want it, you know what I'm saying, to even slide to where you think of it like that. Like it's say when you break the least of the commandments, you know what I'm saying, you still get punished for it. So it's like the reason why is because something that's not a big deal to you, somebody else might look at it and go, well, I only shot one person. You know what I'm saying? We only jumped a couple brothers. The brothers
Right.
were disrespectful, so we rolled on them.
I slept with one brother wife. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
that ain't no big deal. Like, you know, breaking one commandment is like breaking all. Read Proverbs 1 and 22.
Come. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?
Read 23.
Come. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
Turn you at my reproof. What is reproof? Reproof is correction. Reproof is learning, is correction. Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. Read on.
I will make known my words unto you.
The Most High going to make known his words unto you. Read on.
Come. Because I have called.
Now, he going to make his words known unto you because he have called. Meaning what? How can he make his words known unto you? When do he make his words known unto you? Let's say right there in the scripture. When he called. The Most High called, that's him making his words known unto you. When y'all hear the camp, or y'all listen to a class, and y'all hear us to tell you to, you know, not do certain things, that's the Most High making his words known unto you. No, that's the Most High calling you, right? Now, how he's going to make his word known unto you? Now, he's going to call you by saying, you listening to a class, and you hear the priest and prophet of the Lord say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, wear this, wear that. And you totally disregard it. That was the Most High calling you. Now he about to make his words known unto you. And how he gonna make his words known unto you? Read on.
It will come. Because I have called and ye refuse.
He called and you refuse. It goes into what I just said. He had one of his prophets tell you, stop smoking weed, stop selling drugs, stop being a whore, stop being a homosexual, you know, stop being a child molester or whatever. He had someone tell you that. Read on.
Come. I have stretched out my hand.
He stretched out his hand. Stretching out his hand meaning what? He offering you help. How do we stretch out his hand? The priests and prophets. He put us down here to give you help. Not only we're telling you to stop doing these things, we are letting you know that if you need help to stop, you need help to stop doing it, you can come to us and talk to us about it. Right. This ain't the Christian church. You're not going to come to us about an addiction that you're dealing with or affliction that you're dealing with or a demon that you're trying to get rid of, and we're going to sit here in class and talk about it. Now, we're really going to get you off of drugs. We're going to get you off of drugs. You think, there is no one that ever came into the school that wasn't addicted to some type of drug? Yes. But the Most High stretched out his hand. How? He put us in place to help you get over whatever addiction you fighting. That's the Most High stretching his hand out. The Most High stretches his hand out to you. Read on.
Okay. And no man regarded.
And no man regarded. When he stretches his hand out, you ain't give a damn. You did not give a damn. You know you need to stop smoking. You know you need to stop robbing and stealing and sleeping with every damn body. You know you need to stop doing it. So when the Most High put a priest, a prophet in your life to help you, you just disregard it. You don't look at it as the Lord trying to help you. He's trying to help you out of your situation. You don't look at it like that. So you just don't give a damn. Read on.
But ye have set at naught all my counsel.
And you have set at naught all his counsel. You did not listen to anything he had someone tell you. All the help he tried to provide you with, you didn't listen to. Read on.
And would none of my reproof.
And you ain't care about none of his correction. Read.
I also will laugh at your calamity.
So he gonna laugh at your calamity. He gonna laugh at your destruction. When something happened to you, he's gonna laugh. He didn't put brothers here to tell you stop smoking weed. Stop it. You didn't give a damn. You disregarded what the priests and prophets had to say. You sat there and listened to us at camp, and as soon as we mentioned something about weed, you flagged us and walked off. You sat here in class and heard us give you the breakdown and the scriptures on weed, you still went home and smoked it. So guess what? When times get hard and destruction come your way, he's going to laugh at you. He's going to look at him, look at him run. Look, he owed them people, 200,000. He didn't went over there and robbed them people. And now they look at him, they after him. He's going to laugh at your destruction. Read on.
I will mock when your fear cometh.
He gonna mock when your fear comes. When your fear comes, he gonna mock it. He's gonna make you a laughing stock. He's gonna make you a joke. And it happened. It happens a lot. A lot of brothers come in and they hear this truth and they go out, and because they don't want to fight their addiction, they continue to do it and they try to speak down on the UPK. And they become a goddamn laughing stock. Read on.
When your fear cometh as desolation.
When your fear come as destruction, read.
And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, meaning it's coming fast and it's destroying everything around you. Your destruction is coming fast and it's like a whirlwind. Everything around you is destroyed. It's getting destroyed. Read.
When distress and anguish cometh upon you.
When you stressed and anguished and all that come upon you, read.
Then shall they call upon me.
Now you're going to want to listen. Now you're going to want to listen. Yeah, it's hard out here, huh? You got a $100,000 bill. 10% of that is what? 10,000. You can't pay it. It's hard. Nobody answering your phone calls. Nobody. Everybody just straight up abandoned you. Why? Because you wanted to sell weed or you wanted to go into your PO office with dirty piss. Wanted to go into your PO office with dirty piss. Now you in jail. Now you want to call on the Most High. Read.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Then you're gonna call upon the Lord and he ain't gonna answer you. Why? Because weed was a light thing to you. Because it was a light thing and you filled the land with violence and putting the branch to your nose was a light thing, when you call upon the Lord, He's not going to hear you. Guess what? You're going to do 10 years in prison. You're going to pray and pray and pray before you go before that judge. And when you go before that judge, you know what the judge is going to say? Didn't I tell you I didn't want to see you back in here in this courtroom? Didn't I tell you the next time I see you in this courtroom, I am not going to show you no mercy? Now, you was just in the back praying and praying and praying. You was praying, but you totally forgot. You could have avoided this situation if you would have listened. If you would have listened when ISUPK brought out the information of them, the war on drugs. When he sat there and brought out the information of them pushing drugs in our neighborhood and how it destroyed us, you just didn't give a damn. You didn't give a damn when he brought that out. Actually, you went and lit up a blunt as he brought it out. Like, yo, these niggas crazy, look at this. And guess what? You sitting somewhere praying and praying and praying, and then you get a little bit of confidence until you go in front of that judge, and the judge say, I told you I didn't want to see you back in here. 10 years. Get him out of here. The Lord is not going to hear you.
If I could, what's so heavy about that and how it go into like everything we try to like teach against, like the scripture said, it said you're not listening to the Most High counsel. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you peep the way we live in life and how it's a light thing for you to do evil and the Lord don't want to hear you, it's like, what is the Lord trying to tell you to do to save you from your damn self?
Right.
From what's going on around you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, if you live your life like this, your life is going to be better off. Instead of going into being in drugs, being in the streets, being in the gang and all that, I'm trying to tell you, I don't want you to die. I don't want you to not be able to raise your children properly. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to find a good woman and be straight and have somewhere to stay. I don't want you back in jail. That's really what I'm telling you when I'm telling you we got to stop smoking. We got to stop eating shrimp, crab, personal. We got to love one another. We got to come back to the Most High. That's really what I'm telling you.
Right.
But all you hearing is this cat trying to tell me what to do. I'm not going to hear that, but really this is what God told me to tell you.
Right.
These your life.
Right. Now, what you're saying is so heavy and it's so correct, because what we're telling you is not our opinion.
Right.
This is not, we didn't just look at some scientific facts and all. Like, nah, we didn't just go and dig up. Like, I see so many people, like I had a brother try to make an argument that tuna was healthy for you, right? Tuna had, it has so many health benefits. A brother tried to make that argument. And he tried to make that argument because he couldn't understand why we said tuna was unlawful or why the Bible said tuna is unlawful. So he trying to dig up the scientific facts on how tuna is healthy. You could use it for this, that, and the third. So as he pulled it out, he say, so what is the reason, God say not to use it if it has so many health benefits? Oh, he said, what is the reason we can't eat it because it has so many health benefits? I said, because the Lord said not to do it.
Right.
That's all. I'm not going to go and look up the scientific facts on how the tuna body work and what it does to the human body. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that, right? Because even if you're eating tuna and it's helping you out physically in some way, well, guess what? The condition that you're in, we're going to stay in this condition.
Right.
It might help you physically, but what about the condition? We're going to remain in the condition we're in because you're eating tuna. Run all the miles and lift all the weight you want, and your reasoning for doing this is because you eat 12 cans of tuna. Fine. Well, guess what? When we pray to the Most High, while you're sitting in that car, that when this cop come up to your car window and ask for your license and registration, you're going to be praying that it don't make a left turn. And guess what? Because you ate them 12 cans of tuna, it's going to take a left turn. When you sitting in your car praying, the Lord is not going to hear you. He's not going to hear you because you went and looked up all the scientific research that tuna was good for you. Now a cop slamming your head into the goddamn ground for a busted tail light. You just totally disregard. We not in these classes bringing out scientific documents from scientists that got 50 years at Harvard. We not doing that. The Lord said don't do it. That's why. Believe it or don't believe it. Paraphrasing. What Paul say? Because you don't believe, does that make the laws of God none effect? Because you don't believe it, don't mean that it ain't gonna affect you. You believe you can eat shrimp, crab, and lobster and pork. So you believe when you eat it, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. It's not true. Is there any more on that? Go ahead.
If I could, I had a precept about let's get behind stuff.
Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
You listen, your adversary, the devil, walketh like a roaring lion, seeking who he devour. You think them police officers is high off weed while they patrolling them streets? No, they're getting high afterwards. Why? They build up enough discipline to at least, if they do get high, that it don't affect their job. Why? Because they're trying to recognize you when you're high. And they're trying to devour you. They go to pull you over. Hey, sir, have you been smoking? They know you've been smoking. Your car, when you rolled your window down, the car smelled like weed. The car smelled like you're transporting 100 pounds of weed. They know you've been smoking.
Right.
And they're asking you that because they're waiting for you to lie, because they want to devour you. The devil is walking and up and down the street looking to devour you. That's why you got to be sober, and that's why you got to be sober minded. Go ahead.
If I could, just say be sober and be vigilant, because the devil,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, and that go back to it's walking, you know what I'm saying, like a lion, and that go back to the what we was bringing out in the class with Nixon. Like, he wanted you to get high so he can destroy you. They want you to smoke weed so they can put you in jail. They know you don't have money. That's why you get high.
Right.
You don't really have much else to do besides get high. So when I lock you up, we gonna get paid because we done locked you up. I'm gonna get paid because I'm making my quota. Then we gonna get paid some more, or the judge gonna get paid when you go to court and everything else, and he making money on you. That's why it's saying to be sober. If they would have put drugs in our neighborhood and we'd have all been like, hey, we're not doing that out. We don't get high. As a people, we don't get high. They would have been like, well, we gotta find another way to infiltrate, and then they would have started finding other ways to try to destroy us, but that way it wouldn't work. Like, and then it's so heavy because, you know what I'm saying, like, our families are destroyed because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Our lives are destroyed because of this. Like trauma, you know what I'm saying, when you go and do the research, a lot of it comes from your damn parents. And why? Because our parents were on drugs. Or selling drugs, or the other parents in the neighborhoods were selling drugs or on drugs, so they outside killing each other. You going to school with people that's messed up. Now you dating a girl who got drug addict parents, or a girl dating a brother with drug addict parents. Now he lost his damn mind, or she lost her damn mind. You dealing with him. Now you done lost your damn mind from dealing with them. Y'all had kids, now it's on your kids. You see what I'm saying? Like it. If I could, so it's a lot.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You got it. What you bringing up is heavy.
I ain't trying to take the class over.
Nah, you got it.
But drugs and the violence that came with drugs, like the scripture you brought out in Ezekiel, has destroyed black people, man. You know what I'm saying? And we glorify it.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
No, what you're saying is heavy. We make songs about it, we glorify it. And that is 1 and 2. Okay, that's 2 and 3, because number 1 is Christianity.
Right.
And number 2 and 3 is violence and drugs that destroy our neighborhoods. And listen, the police know the longer they keep you in prison, the more money they're gonna make. Right. When they pull you over and find you with that $5 or $10 bag of weed, and you know the first thing they saying? He don't got no money. He would have had more.
Right.
He just had enough to get high for this moment. You know what? Let's throw him in jail. Because when we set a bail, you can't make it 300. I know brothers that set in jail for $350.
Right.
They come home and say, yo, my bail was $350. And they set in jail for 2-3 years. Because nobody had the money to put up. Because putting up that money was going to hurt their pockets, and they didn't want to take a risk of putting it up and then you coming back out and just going back in. Some police officers know he ain't got no money like that. He got $10 worth of weed on him. Just throw him in jail for the weekend. you know, I can make my quota and we could just move on. Go ahead.
If I could, you know what I'm saying, the young brother, Khalid Browder, they go to show. He was like up for 3 years.
Right.
And something he didn't do, and his bail was $2,000.
And couldn't make it 3 years. $3,000 bail. 3 years. Like the family didn't have it. Go ahead.
And if I could, that's Salak.
No, you good. You good.
That's another thing too. Like when we do evil as a people, we get looked at as evil as a people. That's what else he was bringing out.
Right.
So even if you didn't do nothing, because we associated with drugs, you still getting the messed up part of it anyway, like you do sell drugs because your people do. You know what I'm saying? So Khalid Browder, they knew he didn't do nothing when they arrested him.
But they
he
feel
didn't have
like
a
you
bill.
did something. If you didn't do this, we know you did something, and that's why you in jail.
Right. Like, cause you black. Like,
Right. It's like, okay, maybe he didn't do this, but hey, he's in here because he did something. We just didn't catch him.
right.
Let me get one more scripture, Proverbs 16 and 27. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27.
I got it.
You can read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Evil. This ungodly man, he diggeth up evil. He's looking for something. This ungodly man, he's just looking for something and anything to get into. Read.
And in his lips there is a burning fire.
In his lips there's a burning fire. What is that burning fire? The burning fire is that branch of that weed or that cigarette, even the pipe, whatever they want to use. That's between his lips. It's a burning fire. If you put anything in your lips that's a burning fire, the Bible is calling you an ungodly man. An ungodly man put nothing between his lips that's a burning fire. You digging up evil, you looking for stuff to do, you looking for stuff to get into. You just an evil, ungodly man, and in between your lips is a burning fire. The Bible is calling you ungodly. Now, to you, that's a light thing. You know, man, I just smoke once a week. I only smoke because it helped me go to sleep or it helped with my appetite. You get a million. Listen, you ask a heroin addict, a crack addict, a cocaine addict, why they do coke. They give you 1,000,001 reasons on why, and 1,000,001 reasons on why they can't stop. Ask a weed head why they smoke weed. They give you 1,000,001 reasons. They have the same traits as any other drug addict, and they give you this same reasons, but yet you're not a drug addict. You're not a drug addict. And that's the thing about Christians. There are certain things, they look at the Bible like, if it don't say it, like they can accept a man shouldn't lie with the man. You know, they can accept things like that. But when it comes to weed, oh, nah. They can't take it in a parable form. It got to be the word weed and written in red, or God got to say it. Without that, nah, man, the Bible ain't against it, man, because the herbs was giving the herbs was meat. The herbs was giving unto us to eat. The herbs given unto us as medicine. Right, but you're not smoking weed as if it's medicine.
Right.
You're not taking it in a medicine form. You're not doing that. Like, people would admit that taking perks makes you a drug addict before smoking weed.
Right.
Like, weed heads would admit, yo, I don't do perks, man. It got dope in it. It got what is it? I think it's fentanyl. Opioid in it. It got opioid in it. Nah. Perks got opioids in it. And nah, man, nah. If you're a perk head, man, you're a crackhead. They will consider popping pills makes you a drug addict before smoking weed. Like they would admit, if you take pills without a cause, you're a drug addict. If you take perks without a cause or Xannies, anything without being in pain, you're a drug addict. Any weed head would tell you that. But if you take weed or if you smoke weed without a cause, they don't consider that to be a drug addict when weed is not even meant to be smoked. No medicine is meant to be smoked. There's other ways you could take a marijuana plant in pill form, mix it up in a drink, whatever the doctor prescribed it to you. However the doctor prescribed it to you, you can ask for another way to take it other than smoking.
Right.
But people don't, because of the high and the, you know, it's just the feel that they get from it. Can I get a time check?
Time check 8:59.
8:59. All right, is there any questions?
I had a precept.
All right, go ahead. All right, we can end it off with this precept.
Okay, this is the book of Romans, chapter 6:16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
Right. What that scripture saying? Explain what that means. Whom ye yield yourself to, you become servants to. What that mean? What that mean, Ashtawa?
If I could, you know what I'm saying? It's like with the other scriptures you're saying, when it was like the Lord trying to tell you what he wants you to do, but then you saying what you want to do. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? The Most High said don't eat pork, then you make an excuse to do it. Well, then that's who's controlling you. The Most High not controlling you. You're not doing stuff in the spirit of the Most High. You're doing it into whatever is controlling you. So like, if you get high all day instead of going to camp, or you get high all day instead of coming in with the brothers and you popping pills, that's who you were serving to. You're not a servant of the Most High. You were serving to the pills. You were serving to, you know what I'm saying, to marijuana. You know what I'm saying? You might be a servant to another form of sin, to where like that's what really is controlling you. Or it might be our oppressor, the so-called, you know what I'm saying, Edomite or the white man.
Right. And if you become a servant to it, then it becomes your God.
Right.
Weed becomes your God. Pills become your God. Alcoholism, being a drunkard, becomes your God. Many things become your God when you become a servant to it. All right, so it's 9 o'clock. So with that, we're going to end the class off and pass the class off to priest and officer Ashtawak.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Move with new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, you can find it in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, or in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew, or Ma'ashra, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the teacher, priest one, free will offering, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Passover, it's going to be on April the 24th. It's going down in Houston, Texas. For my document, I'll walk to check the bulletin board and the hallway. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, if Majid, which means to stand, I'm going to get a brother's courtesy salute. Mom Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh, Prophet Up, Salat. Sar, which means turn, face the sisters. You know what I'm saying? The salute for the sisters is with your feet at a 45-degree angle, your right hand over your left hand, with your head covered in bow. We're going to get a sisters one courtesy salute. Mom Shabbat, Majid, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Allah, Yasmin Taj means hands down, class is mixed.